Okay, welcome back. Let's do a review on the philosophy, what we're trying to accomplish here. So this functional decomposition thing means I need to break things down and keep breaking them down until they're kind of simple so I can get my head wrapped around them. But there's got to be some sort of a rule that tells you when to stop, right? Otherwise, you just keep on going smaller and smaller and smaller. The way you decide is what the purpose of a particular method is. You break things down until it only has one thing to do. It only does one thing. It only has one purpose. So, for example, we're getting ready to create a method for prompt for integer. That's what it does for a living. It prompts for an integer. It doesn't do anything else. It just does that one thing. So that's how the functional decomposition rules are supposed to be applied. Okay, are you guys ready for the example? We're getting ready to do a real demo of how to use this functional decomposition in encapsulation thing. So if you remember from Chapter 4, we did a prompt for integer guy. Remember that? Except we didn't use methods at the time. So I'm going to break this thing out and I'm going to make me another project here. And I'm going to call it, I don't know, input validation 2, something like that. Okay. So I'm going to start with writing my guy, okay? So I want to have, remember from Chapter 4 when we did this thing, I'm going to have a public and an integer, right? Well, sorry, public static integer. And this is going to be prompt for integer. Now I want to pass three things to it. I want to pass whatever the message is, you know, the enter your age thing, plus the minimum and maximum values that are acceptable, okay? So let's do this. I'm going to say string message int min value, come on, min value and int max value, okay? All right, the rest of this is just basically going to be from that example that we did in Chapter 4. If you remember how this thing works is I have a Boolean value. I'm going to call it, I don't know, done. Done is equal to false, which means I'm not done yet. I'm going to have some sort of an integer that has like an answer thing. And you know I like answers, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to say int answer is equal to 0, and then just to make this little dang red squiggly go away, I'm going to go down to here and say return answer. Okay, that makes the red squiggly go away. Actually, I have a red squiggly up here. Oh, sorry, I didn't spell it all out. Okay, so far so good? Cool. And then I'm going to say, remember we talked about the choice of loops? I do want this thing to run at least once, right? Okay, so it's going to be a do. And let's go ahead and just do the while we're doing it. I like to do the tops and bottoms and then do filling in afterwards. That's just a technique. While not done. Hey, I used the exclamation point to mean not. Remember that this guy requires a semicolon, which is kind of weird. In other words, keep going until we're done. If we're not done, keep going. That's what this thing means. Okay, and so then we're going to do the system.out.println, well, print not ln, and I'm going to say message. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to do string. Actually, I'm going to put the string up here. I don't normally like to create string variables inside loops. I'll explain why one day. String, I'm just going to call it buffer, since I don't really have a good name for it. Actually, maybe not. I'll tell you what, let's just take this thing out. Let's just do an easier one. And let's just say answer is equal to, remember how this thing works. I need a scanner. Oh man, I forgot a bunch of stuff, didn't I? Scanner keyboard is equal to new scanner system.in. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. Click on this little guy and hey, please import that for me. Come on. Okay, good. And so this is going to be integer dot parse int, and it's going to be keyboard next line. Okay. And then we're going to have like an if statement that says if answer is less than min value, or answer is greater than max value, then we're in trouble, right? That's when I want to send out an error message. So I'm going to do system error this time. Print ln that says, and this error message should be kind of generic because I don't know if we're prompting for age. So I can't say something like age is out of, invalid value for age because I don't know what the value is. So I'm just going to say something kind of generic like invalid value. Okay, I don't know what it's for. And then I can say, range of acceptable values is between, hey, I'm going to go ahead and make that a print, and then period, please try again. Okay, I ended up using a printf guy, so I'm going to have to go change that to print line to print f. Okay? Else, in other words, we're okay, then we can get the heck out of this guy, right? I want to exit the loop. And then I say done is equal to true. Okay, you've seen this before, right? From the chapter 4 guy. Okay. So all I did was just put this in a inside a method to make it slightly easier to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to assume it kind of sort of works. So now I need to put in some constants, right? So I'm going to say something like, final int min age is equal to 0, and final int max age is equal to 140. Okay, then I'm going to call that method. Dang it, helps if you spell things right. So if I did it right, I would say int age is equal to prompt for integer, enter your age, and then min age, max age. Okay. So let's just try this and make sure. Did I spell something wrong? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's just run this. Make sure I didn't screw up. Okay, enter my age. Minus 40. It goes, no, man. Whoa. Oh. I do not see what's wrong at all. But I'm going to move on rather than to diagnose this while you're watching. Okay. What I was trying to show you is, now that I got this perfectly working, now that I got this thing working, it's time now to use it a second time, because I don't like duplicated code. So if I was to prompt you for your age and then turn right around and prompt you for your score, so final int, min score is 1, I don't know, final int, max score is 20. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. Okay. So I'm just going to turn that guy around and do it again. So score is equal to prompt for integer. Enter the score. And then min score. Max score. Okay, Now the point here is I've got this one method I'm using over and over again. So I don't have to copy and paste this once up there, because in chapter 4 that's what we would have done. If I wanted to prompt you for an integer 3 times, I would have had to have copied that, pasted it the exact same code 3 times. Then obviously I've got something wrong with this guy. There's something wrong with my method. So once I fix it one time, it's going to work forever now, and it's going to fix it in all the locations. So this is making sense. Why am I doing this? It's because I want to use this multiple times in my application without having to duplicate code. Okay? By the way, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I will fix this and post the correct answers. Okay, so one more time. Don't include anything in the method that is specific to like the age. The error message can't have something like, oh, that's why it blew up. Okay, and this would be min value, max value. Okay, sorry. Dang it. Helps. Man, my spelling is bad today. Okay. Yay, I fixed it. But you see how I had a problem in one location, so now that I fix it, it's going to work in all locations? That kind of makes sense? Okay. But my error message can't be talking about age or score, because I don't know what you're using it for. So it has to be generic. This thing, the messages that coming off, invalid value, I can't say invalid age or invalid score because I don't know how it's being used. Invalid value, range of acceptable values between such and such and such and such, please try again. Okay, that kind of makes sense? Okay. So, on page 305, they talk about calling methods that throw exceptions. Man, we have been dancing around the fact that chapter 11 is way, way far away. Chapter 11 is all about exceptions. So if a method, if it's possible for a method to blow up like Irish just did, okay? If I was to type in Mary had a little lamb, that's going to create an exception right here because the parse int guy can't handle that. So in theory, what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to add an extra little thing here for every method that does this. I should add a throw keyword right here, throws keyword, okay? And all this does is say I am fully aware that this thing is going to possibly throw an exception. Now, since we're not really willing to deal with exceptions now, I'm not going to go on and moan about this too much more, other than all that does is just postpone the inevitable, and we have to wait till chapter 11 for the inevitable. Okay, on page 305, there's that section on common errors to avoid. Very good stuff. You probably need to read that on your own. There's a lot of good advice in there. Okay, we've reached the end of the chapter, and I guess I'll see you guys again in the next chapter.